You know, I say so much in this that I actually know what looks like as a waveform in the editing.
Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
sure you do.
So every time I see I know what it looks like.
You can't think. Can't think fast on your feet.
I'm sitting down.
Exactly.
Hello, and welcome back to the Press Continue podcast. I'm your host, Adam, and my co-host, Brittany.
Hello.
And today we are going to talk about Galaga. So, Galaga was actually the second in a series of games. The whole series started with Galaxian, which
Boo.
was... Yeah, it's terrible. I hate Galaxian.
It was the worst game ever.
Well, it was released in 1979 in the arcades.
I guess I'll give it that.
Yeah. The big thing with Galaxian was that it was the first game with color sprites that animated.
Ooh. The stars? Wait, what's the color sprites?
The characters, the little spaceships that came after you, were in color.
And they're called sprites?
Yes. But back then, it was a big deal because the only way that they could do color in arcade games back then was they would have black and white games, but they would put a colored film or it's like colored plastic wrap on the screen that would make it the black and white color. So, for example, on Space Invaders, they made a color version of Space Invaders, and they had a red bar of plastic, a yellow bar of plastic, and then like a green bar of plastic. And as it came down the screen, it would change colors.
Wow, that's simple.
Yeah, that was color. This was true color, finally, with Galaxian. So that was the big draw to it and why it was such a huge success back then, even though I hate that game.
It's so slow.
It's slow, you only can shoot one bullet at a time.
While they're just pummeling you
raining
with
down the
bullets
pain on you. Ugh, it's just terrible. I can't play that game for more than 2 minutes, and then I'm just like, shut it off.
Yeah,
play
it just
something
makes
else.
me angry.
Yeah. Now, do you think that that's though because we played Galaga first and got spoiled?
I don't think I would have liked it either way.
No.
It doesn't move very fast. It's hard to control. You're just getting pummeled with bullets. Is that the right word? Pummeled.
The bullets have little fists on the end. Yeah, so I do not like Galaxian. Thank God they came out with Galaga.
Yeah, that was better.
Which Galaga came out in 1981. So in Galaxian, or all the Galaga series, you're a spaceship at the bottom of the screen.
Uh-huh.
And at the top of the screen is a bunch of aliens that look like bugs that have come to kill you, take over the world. I don't know what they're there for. All I know is you got to shoot them before they shoot you. And it's all about getting the high score. For me, it's always... I always just try to get to the next level. I don't really care about the score. I'm all about getting to the next level. But it's very similar to Space Invaders. You got all the spaceships at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You're the ship at the bottom, and you're just shooting stuff coming at you. But the big different thing with the Galaga series was that these aliens came down at you.
And crashed into you?
The kamikaze.
Just, killed themselves and you?
Yeah. They do anything to come at you and kill you. They didn't just go back and forth and shoot at you. So they would actually come down the screen, and the different types of aliens actually had different attack patterns and what they called personalities. If you looked like the little yellow bugs in Galaga, they would swoop around at you and come back up and down, up and down.
Swarming patterns.
Right. Or the red ones would just more go back and forth, like an S pattern. So that was a big deal in the series, that it was one of the first games that the enemies had a personality or an attack pattern. So that's it. Kill all the bugs coming at you.
Yeah, you still only can move horizontally in Galaga.
Right.
And they had a challenge stage, which they didn't have in Galaxian.
Right. It was one of the first games that actually offered like a challenge stage or a bonus stage, which I got pretty good at.
Yeah.
I like the challenge stage.
They were challenging.
Oh my god. It breaks up the game a lot for me, so I liked it. It's a good break.
You also got to get your fighter back they would capture the fighter, and you could shoot the alien and then gain your fighter back and have dual shooters.
Have double ship.
Yeah.
Double ship power.
Yes, double ship power.
Yeah, which I think I found that out originally on accident, even though if you sit there and stare at the attract mode of the arcade machine, it'll tell you that that's how that works.
Mm.
But for the first time when we were playing it, I shot my own ship that they took, and I almost crapped myself, because I was like, what just happened? That was a ripoff. And you can lose if they capture your last ship. So you have to make sure...
Yeah, you can't get captured when you only have one ship left.
Yeah, you have to make sure to, that you have another ship left, otherwise it's game over.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
I think in Galaga 2 they had the progression of difficulty right, where it starts out pretty easy, like getting past the first board, you're like, okay, I can do this, and then it gets harder and harder and harder as you go, and faster as you go. But I think that the way that the levels progressed was a good progression of difficulty that makes you want to keep playing the game to get further. For me, I know when we hit level 9, that's when the game really speeds up, and if you blink, you're dead. You didn't get to level 9.
You didn't get to level 9. All I wanted to do was to knock one of your initials down. And you wouldn't let me.
You never even got on the high scoreboard.
You know what?
What?
Yeah.
Oh?
I want to punch your face.
Oh, and I had a Star Wars flashback playing this game. Playing Galaga.
Is that like drug you used to take?
What?
A Star Wars flashback? What are you talking about?
Well,
are these common for nerds?
Well, yes. Any Star Wars fan always references back to something Star Wars. But when the guy that would take your ship, he would come down with 2 of the little bugs, and they'd go back and forth through the thing. I had a flashback of the trench run in the first Star Wars, where Vader came after Luke with him and 2 other ships. So
yeah.
And if you look, the little white ship kind of looks like an X-wing from the top.
It does.
Star Wars. They copied Star Wars. Nothing's original in this game. It's all Star Wars. Then after Galaga came something called GA+.
Gaplus? Gaplus?
Not talking about the London look.
Giaperusu?
They are definitely not Gaplus.
Yeah, they have a lot of Gap stores to shop in.
Oh my god. This was technically Galaga 3, and some machines will say Galaga 3 on them, but what this was, it was kind of an add-on to the original Galaga arcade board, which added quite a bit to the game. You actually got different weapons that would come down. They would still capture your ship. Oh no, they wouldn't capture your ship. You can capture their ships with some of the guns you could get.
That was fun.
Yeah. I liked capturing them and having them work for me instead of just all coming at me, and you would have your ship and a line of 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, it's like, how do you like killing your own?
Yeah, you just clear out the board.
I do some sound effects, but no one would get it.
What's the sound effects?
Pew 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 pew.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew pew pew.
So you can get double shoot power, you can get triple shoot power. There was quite a bit that they added to the game, and the ship can go up and down as well as left and right.
Yes, that made it a lot easier to get some of the guys. It's like, you can't run for me. I'm coming right to your door. Wait a minute, it was also released on mobile phones? Did they put these on cell phones in 1988?
Galaga's everywhere.
Gaplus.
So one of the interesting things, because you can move up and down with your ship, I found a spot where if you go right where the ship starts, if you go all the way up into the center and just stay there, as the ships all come in the formation that they come in, nobody will hit you. So you don't have to worry about getting shot or anything during the first level.
Yeah, I saw you do that.
Yeah.
I hadn't tried it.
I felt like I was cheating.
You were. Cheating yourself out of gameplay.
Facepalm.
I'm just kidding.
So after GA Plus came out,
It's Gaplus.
whatever you say, there was Galaga 88, which obviously came out in 1988.
Why is it obvious?
Actually, no. Actually, I'm wrong.
Maybe
it came
it's-
out in 1987.
Maybe it's 88 levels.
What? Why would they call it Galaga 88 when it came out in 1987?
Well, maybe it didn't get popular until 1988.
Galaga 88 got kind of weird.
Yeah, it had better graphics, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Space stations.
It had more of a
It
background
created
instead of just the
fireworks when
stars.
things exploded.
Right. Some of the bugs would form into bigger bugs and come at you.
And you had to shoot them multiple times.
Right. What I thought was interesting though is that you can when you first start the game, it asks you if you want to start with one ship or two ships.
It asks you.
It asks you. It gives you that as an
Oh,
option.
so it's easier for you, I guess, if you
Right.
want.
But if you start with two ships, you have one less life.
Aha.
If you start with two ship, or however you get two ships, they still try to capture your ship. So if you get captured and catch that again, you turn into triple ship power, but then you morph into just giant ship that has like 3 shots.
Triple ship.
You turn into that.
And is this like a boss or something?
I have no idea. Because in this one, you go through different dimensions. You don't just go level to level to level. There's these blue canisters that you can grab, and after you get 2 of them and do so many levels, I still haven't figured out exactly how it works, a black hole opens up and your ship flies into the black hole, and then you go to the next dimension. Where in the second dimension, I thought it was really interesting because it turned into a scrolling game.
Mm-hmm.
Where instead of just all the ships being at the top, you're actually going over like a land or whatever, or a planet, and the ships were coming at you, and then you eventually pull up to where they're already formed up, and then they all come down at you. It was really different, and I like that. But it's so hard to get to the second dimension that I eventually gave up on doing it. I did it once, and it was really cool. So I like how they mixed the 2 different types of games into one. Again, the variety made it interesting. And that's what they seem to add to each game as they went up in the series, is more and more variety. Variety of weapons, variety of enemies, variety of gameplay types.
Patterns.
Variety of controls, even.
So I guess it would take a lot of practice to get real good at this game, because I couldn't even get on the leaderboards. So I hate you, Galaga, and I hate your face. And one day
You'll make it on the board?
One day, no, probably not.
No.
Maybe.
Galaga's, the whole series is, except for Galaxian, is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. I just am not that fast.
And each game got faster too, so.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the faster the game got, the better you got at it.
Yeah, I actually just didn't blink or, look at the screen directly. I just kept moving.
So you closed your eyes and you got better at it?
No, I didn't close them, but I definitely didn't, focus on anything. I just kind of, stared blankly and was able to move fast enough.
You rely on reflexes.
Yeah, you have to, otherwise you can't move fast enough.
Uh-huh. But with this series, I mean, I always played Galaga. I never even heard of GA Plus or Gaplus. And I had seen Galaga 88, but I never wanted to play it. But now I'm glad I got to play all the other variations of it, except Galaxian.
Yeah, I actually liked the GA Plus. I thought that was the best one.
Really?
Yeah.
I just went through playing them all, and I'd have to say I still like Galaga the best, but GA Plus is a close contender.
No, it was better.
For number 1.
No.
Just because you could steal their ships.
You're just biased because you played that a lot as a young person.
Well, yeah.
Child?
Young person, child.
I don't know what you were.
Okay.
Adolescent? Toddler? I don't know what you were called then.
I remember playing it when I was 5 years old.
Your parents left you at the arcade?
No, we had a home version.
Oh.
It was a tiny little, like, not even a foot tall arcade version machine of it.
Huh.
Namco came out with a bunch of, like, mini versions of it at home. It ran on, like, 5D batteries that would last for, like, an hour and a half.
So did you have to, like, use one finger to, like, slam the button? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. The buttons were really tiny, too. Those things are collector's items now. I wish I had one.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I say my least favorite, obviously, is Galaxian.
Galaxian. It even sounds
Yeah,
bad.
that sounds terrible.
Galaxian.
Sounds like you got some phlegm stuck in the back of your throat and you're trying to say
Excuse
something.
me, Galaxian.
What, are we done talking about Galaga already?
Galaga. Those aliens are pretty scary looking.
Okay, we're done talking about
They look
Galaga.
like they're gonna claw your face.
Hey, come here. Okay, I just want to tell you something. Come here. Come here. I just want to tell you a secret. A secret about how I'm going to kill you!
That's not a good secret.
I want to claw your face while you're sleeping.
I wanna claw your face. Claw your face. That's a good 80s song.
While you sleep. While I'm sleeping.
I wanna claw your face. This week in gaming news, Adam is a big dork.
That's not news.
It's maybe news to some people.
No, they all know it.
Mortal Kombat released a new trailer today.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 10.
Dun dun dun.
X in Roman numerals.
Yes.
There was a trailer saying it's going to come out in 2015, so be prepared for that date in the future.
We watched the trailer,
Yes.
and it looked pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a big lie, because it's not the gameplay. It's just a video.
Yeah, but, well, they always like to show off what they're trying to do with the series, and the last Mortal Kombat, which was Mortal Kombat 9, but it was just called Mortal Kombat, did look a lot like the trailer.
So what's new then?
Well, you saw in the... I picked up little things in the trailer where he, like, ripped a limb off of a tree and used it as a weapon.
He who? It was Scorpion.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, the two people I'm sick of seeing fight in every single trailer.
Because you know they're going to be in the game.
Right.
They're not telling you anything new.
They're the two favorites. But I saw some new gameplay mechanics where, you know, like I said, he ripped parts off the tree and started beating them up with it. He, Sub-Zero grabbed a tree branch and did, like, a flip around it. So they're, like, using the environment as part of the ways to attack each other. Which is kind of interesting, instead of just the weapon combat that they did in some of the older games.
We're assuming they're going to do that in the actual game.
Right. They did speed up the whole X-ray vision, where in the last Mortal Kombat, where you would use the X-ray and you'd see where they'd punch through and break your bones or, you know, rupture your spleen or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
the game got
shots.
really slow motion when it did it. They sped it up, but it's a lot more detailed, of course.
I also read that they accidentally listed on Amazon UK that it's going to be on PS4, Xbox One, PS3, and Xbox 360 platforms.
Oh,
and then they quickly deleted it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't think that was meant to be put out there yet.
I was wondering if they were going to put it on last generation systems.
Well, that's what that little blurb said.
Well, good. I still don't need another reason to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One. I'm happy with my PS3.
I guess people are expecting more to be released about it at E3 next week.
Does that start next week?
Yep.
Already?
6/10.
Nice. There goes my life for about a week. I'm just going to be buried in the internets.
You have no life.
Today was the WWDC, whatever that stands for, but it was the Apple
The
conference.
World Wrestling
Dumb crackers.
Dumb crackers. Yeah, it's basically Worldwide Developers Conference.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
no.
I think that is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Your SMRT. So, okay, the big Apple conference was today, and they announced what they're finally going to do with iOS 8 and some of the updates that they're going to do for Mac OS 10. And they're not really changing the design of anything, but they're adding a lot to the functionality and how all your Apple devices work together. For example, I like how they're finally making it where if I'm working on my computer and my phone's not next to me and my phone rings, it will pop up on my computer screen and ask me if I want to answer the phone, and I can answer the phone through my computer. Don't exactly know how it works, but whatever. That's that Apple magic.
Whatever. Apple magic.
Yeah.
I think it's technology and science. I don't think it's magic.
I love technology. Almost as much as you see.
It's a beautiful song.
Always and forever. They added a lot to text messaging. So now they've made it easier. I think that it's kind of a cool safety thing where now instead of texting everyone with text, you can text people with little like voice messages. So you don't have to look down at your phone while you're driving to text people, which you know you're not supposed to do anyway, but everybody does.
What? I don't...
Eh.
I mean, I do it at stoplights safely.
Well, stop signs.
Lights, I said.
Oh yeah, because I've never seen
I've
never seen a stop sign. I don't even know. I don't think they exist.
Because you don't stop at the red
I've never seen one.
octagonal signs.
Dodecahedron. But I forgot what I was saying. But so you can send little little voice blurbs to each other instead of having to look down in text. So that's kind of a neat convenience thing. At the same point, if you're in a meeting or something where you can't listen to your phone or grab it and somebody sends you a voice text, you ain't answering that for about a half hour to an hour.
Those are common meeting links.
Common meeting links?
You ain't answering your phone for half an hour to an hour.
I don't even understand you right now.
Common meeting lengths, like duration.
Oh, lengths.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you meant links like a lynx.
Yes, like a lynx. Lynxus? What? LANX?
Wow. Okay. We've totally lost it.
You lost it.
What else did they add? They added
a health app.
Yeah, the health app, which seemed kind of interesting. For all you health nuts out there, you know the gamers are not health nuts.
Well, you need to know if you had too much Mountain Dew and your heart rate is like through the roof.
And if you have diabetes.
Yeah.
Something that was neat with the health app was that, like you were saying, with heart rates and blood pressure and things like that, if you have the little things that link up to your phone for the health, they're making it now where, like, say your heart rate gets too high or whatever and you have heart problems, it will tell your doctor, then your doctor will get in contact with you and tell you what to do to help you.
Stop drinking Mountain Dew.
And eating Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And playing DDR.
DDR.
Yeah, that stupid dance game.
Oh, Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ever play that game. I've never played that once in my life, and
No.
I never will.
No. You gotta play Dance Dance.
'Cause all I do is watch other people play it and laugh at them.
Dance Dance can be your replacement at work. Your stand-in. No, you're good. DDR, I'll get it done.
But I didn't see them announce any kind of new hardware or the iWatch, which I know that's what I'm kind of looking forward to, is seeing the new phones.
It's been speculated that they're going to be coming out with the iWatch.
Right.
But they haven't, as of yet, released that information.
Right. And phones with bigger screens, which is what I would rather have than an iWatch.
Well, you let them know that.
Okay. I'll call them right now.
Okay.
If I can see the buttons, because the screen's too small.
Everybody played Mario Kart on Friday.
Did you play it?
No, I don't have a Wii U.
Oh, neither do I. Does anyone have a Wii U
Invite us
out
over.
there?
Come
Yeah,
on.
please give us a call. We'll come over, play Mario Kart, because I want to play it, but I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, so we'll just mooch off of yours for a little while.
Right. I did read that Mario Kart did boost the Wii U sales, and it was actually a very successful release for them.
Wow.
So I'm sure pretty much everybody that has a Wii U bought Mario Kart for it.
Yeah.
So I guess a big release for a Wii U title means more than 10 people bought it at the release day.
It was the fastest selling game for the Wii U.
Oh,
It drove console sales.
nice.
1.2 million units sold on the first weekend.
Impressive, Nintendo. Keep the hits coming. Let's get something good on E3. Let's see some new Zelda.
Well, the president said with that the sale of Mario Kart 8 was a milestone and is all about the future for Nintendo and the Nintendo platforms. We'll see in a few days, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see what E3 has to bring and see if they can keep up with whatever PlayStation and Microsoft are going to show off and see if they can get people interested in the Wii U.
Or something new.
Yeah, whatever new hardware they decide to come out with, because they're still hinting that something new is on the way. So I still like your idea for bringing the a revision of the classic NES. That would be the best idea ever.
Yeah, because the new stuff ain't working.
No.
It ain't working for them.
And everybody's going retro.
Yeah, and the kids nowadays think if they had a cord attached to their controller, they'd be like, whoa, so neat.
This is terrible.
Remember when we showed our nephews tapes?
No, I wasn't there for that.
No, you were.
Was I?
Danny found a tape in your drawer and was like, what is this? This is amazing. You're like, we have nothing you can play it on.
I wonder how he'd feel about an 8-track.
I think it's the best thing ever.
Does this go in the VCR? What's a VCR?
Let me see it. It's awesome technology.
How does this work on the Apple TV?
You start jamming it in.
Okay, so one of our viewers gave us a suggestion for a game to play on our next show. So here's the hint for the game we're playing next time.
I have no idea what that is.
I do.
Yeah, I know.
One of my favorite games.
No, it's not.
It is.
What?
It's on the top 10 list.
Whose top 10 list?
Mine.
Oh.
Okay. So tune in next week to see what we're playing.
Playing? I ain't playing.
Stop laughing at me.
Visit our website at presscontinuepodcast.com to find links and additional information on our episodes, as well as links to our Facebook and Twitter accounts. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes. It's the best way to support our show. Please tell your friends, and all your feedback is appreciated, and your help is the best way to give our show support. Do you want a punch in the face? How about the throat? Both?
Yes, please.
That's the end of this week's episode.
So we'll see you next time.
We won't see you, but thanks for listening.
We'll talk to you next time, where the gaming never ends as long as you press continue.
Beep, 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 beep. I'm going to punch your throat right now.